What up, world? Back again. Y'all know what it is. It's the Country Rap Report. Yours truly, Vic XL.
Yes, you do, Spank.
I look a little lighter today. Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
I'm thirsty right now. I'm watching my wife eat a smoothie in front of me.
You want
on
some
the other
whiskey?
side of this camera? No, I'm good, fam.
I
want none of that spigot water.
I drank enough for me and you. Okay, so look, man. For all the first-time viewers who are watching us for the very first time, let me let you know what you are looking at. We are the Country Rap Report. We are the show that reviews the best and worst in country rap videos, okay? We give you our expertise, our opinions, our reactions. Whatever tag you choose to put on a video, that's what we give you. From an industry standpoint, because combined, we have over 30 years of industry experience.
30? More like 75. Come on now. No,
when you say, now people going to be trying to figure out how in the hell old are you? No, keep the number. Look, 30 is a good number. That's 15 apiece. And if we both started when we were 16, 18.
Right.
Yeah. We don't, look, man, don't do that. Over 30 years of, over 30, which is any number over 31 is over 30. But we do have industry expertise, okay? All right. Now, last year we gave y'all over 100 episodes of video reviews. We introduced the genre to tons upon artists that the genre wasn't used to hearing about or knew about. Right. So we also gave you some artist interviews. And at the beginning of the year, we told you guys we were going to expand. And we started y'all with a bang by giving y'all what I consider country rap's first ever award show. I'm sure there's some people out there who can be like, "Use a damn lie." But what I consider country rap's first official award show,
okay,
where you guys, especially the gang, we all voted and said who the winners were. We didn't pick them. Y'all nominated them and y'all voted on the winners.
Right.
We also decided to, give you guys even more exclusive interviews from some of your favorite artists in the genre. We started out with some interviews, then we really paused the interviews for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
But 2022, we're bringing the interviews back. All right? And we have given y'all some good, to me, we don't have to do another interview this year, but we're going to do more interviews. We gave y'all interviews from Graves, West 10, Mark Kotick, SMG Jimmy, Jesse B. We gave y'all an exclusive on Jane Wick before she went into the belly of the beast.
Right.
And we gave y'all this small guy named Upchurch, a little small short interview on him as well that a few of y'all watched, and we appreciate that.
Right.
But we decided to give you more and more interviews. But we also decided to give you guys something that we like to call AMA. Ask Me Anything. We should probably call it AUA. Ask Us Anything. But AMA, Ask Me Anything, straight out the inbox, music industry playbook, whatever name you want to call it. We decided to say, you know what? We're going to get personal up close with the listeners, the viewers, and answer their questions about things going on in the music industry. So 2022, we are on a roll. We like butter, baby, on a roll. We give you the Country Rap Report. We give you 3 editions. We're trying to keep you guys engaged.
Don't forget the radio station.
But that's just the things they can see visually.
Radio stations with that plural.
We got a lot of things going on outside of this podcast. Number one, let's talk podcast and streaming. We are streaming on all your favorite streaming sites. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes, am I correct?
Yes.
And we are on Anchor.
Well, Anchor pushes everybody for us, so that pushes it out to iHeart, Deezer. We're on all of the majors. Some of those we get a little delayed because they're not based in our country, like Deezer. But yes, we are on all of the major outlets. Bottom
line, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you don't want to check out YouTube, you can check out the Country Rap Report on your favorite streaming site. Okay. Not only that, we decided to launch, we actually launched it last year, but it's going strong, a year old, WCRR. What I consider country rap's only internet radio station, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But also, not only do we review the videos, you can go watch every single video we've ever reviewed because we have a playlist on YouTube, and it's actually called Country Rap Tunes Season 1, Country Rap Tunes Season 2. That's every video we've ever reviewed unless they took it down. Okay? And we have a Spotify playlist where you can go to Spotify and just type in Country Rap Report playlist and it'll come up when you get some of your favorites. So we are doing everything we can to embrace the genre and push it for, I almost forgot. And we've partnered up with Vertigo to give you guys your own tab when it comes to submitting music to DJs. You can go to Vertigo, submit your music, and it will be placed in the country rap genre.
Yes.
That way DJs can not have to go through all the malarkey if they don't want to, and they just can go to Vertigo and see what's new in country rap. You can submit your music there, and they can download the MP3, the video, whatever, however you choose to submit.
Yes.
So we are, have I forgot anything?
No.
And we have other things in the works, like a 16-bar challenge.
Coming in May the 1st.
We also have a compilation, Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, a compilation. I can't do 4. But once coming soon.
You said 4. I never ever interjected. I never interjected. I thought in my mind, this man know how hard it is to get everybody on the same page, and he wants to do original music. Okay, we're gonna have a compilation, Dirty Dozen, coming out before the year end.
Yes.
And man, all kind of things, man. Every day gets more and more exciting for what we have planned for the genre. Okay. Now, again, bear with us because anytime we bring you somebody, we feel like it's someone you as a country rap fan will endorse. Sometimes some of the people might not be country rap, but we feel like maybe they're missing the mark by targeting the wrong people. So sometimes you're going to get some people that we feel like should be like, Okay. So, all right. So with that being said, today, guess what we're giving y'all? We're giving y'all an exciting guest. We're giving y'all somebody that I know I want to know about. So ain't no way in the hell y'all can't want to know about him.
Right.
I definitely want to know about him. First of all, I got questions. I want to know about this name because I've been wondering about the name. Spank got a question that he's going to ask.
Right.
We have 1,000,001 questions because we got a special guest. We got an exclusive interview with a gentleman. We're going to bring him up right now. Hopefully you guys got a lot of questions, and hopefully we will answer all those questions because this guy is definitely one of the funniest guys, one of the hardest working guys that I have seen in the genre. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Country Rap Report, Mr. Hard Target. What's going on?
What up? Y'all can hear me?
Yo, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But can we get you to do one? Can we get you to do us a favor?
What's that? Turn it sideways.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Country Rap Report.
Welcome.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
All right, so look, man. We're going from the inception of Hard Target to the day. And we're gonna cover everything in the middle.
All right.
Okay. And I'm sure before this podcast is over, Spank is probably gonna ask you for that Target's dick shirt.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, I'll clear that up right now. Chief, the one that set the interview up, bro, he's got all those shirts, and Ben told him we'd give them to you. I think I got an address at one point. I just forgot to send.
Okay.
Well, Spank wants that particular shirt.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm a little uncomfortable wearing a shirt saying Target's dick.
Hey, it's 2022. Be more progressive, bro.
So, man, look, let's get it again. Welcome to the show, man. Let's get into it. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Hard Target, Trailer Made's own. The first question I got to ask, man, let's take these people to the very, very beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from Florida. I was raised in Polk County, Lakeland. Born in Michigan, but I've been raised in Florida since I was like 6 months old. So I'm from Florida, Florida boy at heart.
All right. So anytime I talk to anyone who has embraced hip hop as a whole from Florida, I gotta ask, were you ever into the booty shake culture?
Nah, man. You know what? When I grew up, my dad was very strict with the music we listened to. And I remember getting my ass beat because I was singing the dirty nursery rhymes by like Two Live Crew. Lil Jack Corner sat in the corner fucking his cutie pie. and I remember he overheard it. He goes, "Where the hell did you hear that from?" And it was like I had an older brother that was raised by my grandparents. He got to listen to all that shit, and we're over here like we were force fed like country music. That was all we were allowed to listen to. So yeah, like I experienced like the Two Live Crews, the Tupacs and all that shit through my older brother, like visiting them and stuff.
Okay. Okay. All right. So when did you realize that you had this gift that you have?
I don't know. You know what it was is I never was real big. I didn't grow up like a hip hop head or nothing like that. I was always real big into rock music and country, whatever. And it was like my father left. And when my father left, we grew up in this trailer park our whole life. And then when my father left, pretty much my mom lost the trailer we were living in and stuff like that. We like literally moved to Section 8, like we were in the projects, and it just became a thing where it was like everyone was rapping. I was like, I could do this shit. You know what I mean? Like I always say this, and it's a running joke amongst all of us. Like if I got around a bunch of skateboarders as a kid, I was a skateboarder. If I got around people that BMX'd, and it just so happened I got around a bunch of motherfuckers that were freestyling, I was like, okay, I could do this.
So up until that point, you weren't into rap or didn't want to rap?
Nah, I always loved music though. You know what I mean? Like even to this day, like I listen to hip hop. There's a lot of hip hop artists I listen to, but if you were to ask me what, like 1 out of 100, what is the percentage of music I listen to in my playlist? It's like 20% of it's rap. And if it is rap, it's a lot of older artists.
Okay. All right. So getting around guys that were freestyling in your neighborhood and basically jumping in the mix, like when did you decide to turn that, which would be considered a hobby or something you're doing just to blend in, when did you decide to say, man, you know what? I ain't half bad. I'm going to the studio.
It just became a thing where this is like early 2000s where I'm doing it so much and shit like that. Like I ended up going, okay, I want to record myself. I can't afford to record myself. So I figured out what I needed to record. And once I started recording myself, and like I immediately like a lot of people don't realize this, like the country rap genre as a whole or whatever, I was introduced to it in like 2015, like when I met the Lax. But like I've been doing the style of music that you guys hear now since I started. And back then when all this shit started with me, what made me stand out is I was doing songs like called Raised in the Trailer. The second album I think was called Back to the Trailer. I was doing country ass shit. So like when I go to these open mics and we're battling people, I was that dude in flannels and boots and trucker hats rapping, going head to head with these people. So it stood out, you know what I mean? And it got to the point where when I was doing these shows locally, I gained a lot of notoriety really fast just based off my image alone. You know what I mean?
All right. Ever since I've seen your name, the name Hard Target, I'm like, okay, that is a very unique and different name. When you were doing the open mics and when you started, to develop your craft, have you always been Hard Target? And if so, what does that name actually mean other than us knowing what a hard target is?
100% biggest regret of my career is my artist name. I hate it. Absolutely. When people I introduce myself to anybody I meet, it's Ryan. My name's Ryan. It happens. I built a fan base with the name Hard Target, so I stuck with it, but there's absolutely zero meaning behind it other than the fact that years ago I was signing up for a website and the rap name I was going by was already taken. I looked to my left and on USA, the movie Hard Target's playing. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And I typed in Hard Target. And I remember I did a song. I always, this is what stuck with me. I did a song with a rapper from Brooklyn, New York. His name was Minus, aka Lefty Guns. He was actually in a group he was actually in a group with Lloyd Banks' younger brother. And I did a song with him. And I remember when he came in, he's like, it's your boy, Minus, Hard Target. And I was like, oh shit, he said my name. I was like geeked out about it. And back then I was still like, I would have those tracks where I'd be like, I'll run through your block and shoot the shit up. Like I thought I was a gang and all that shit. So back then that name fit. Now I'm looking at it now and I'm like, nah, I think Hard Target, I think I'm part of G Unit or some shit like that. Like it doesn't reflect what my music sounds like, but it's already been out there for so many years. If I change it now, I'd literally be fucking shooting myself in the foot.
What was that original name you had?
I think I had so many douchebag ass names. I at one point went by Trigger Play, Shady Oaks 24. That was the apartment, like the area where we moved to, and 24 was the apartment building we lived in, or the apartment we were in. It was a bunch of dumb names, man.
Okay, so when did because you basically were doing country rap before you knew it was a genre, country rap.
I just started rapping about like when I first started freestyling. I really thought I was a gangster motherfucker. Like we would think we're out there selling dope and shit like that. And I remember moving out of the projects back into that trailer. I don't know. Have you seen the Trailer Made an announcement video?
Yes. That
trailer. That's when I first built the studio. But I was rapping a good 2-3 years before that. But I remember moving out of that, out of Brooksville, going, man, now I was going to be the only white boy from the hood, and I felt some type of way about it. But I remember moving out of there was like the best thing that could have happened to me, because I grew up. I've always raised in a trailer. You know what I mean? That little 3-4 year period out of my life was very minuscule. You know what I mean? And I immediately I was like, I'm going to make music about shit that I know about. You know what I mean? And I right out the gate, it was my first album, Southern Accent, it was just country shit. And I grew up on shit like Field Mob, I loved the first Rehab album. Like all that Southern shit I dug. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest hip hop albums I ever listened to was that old Field Mob shit, and it was nothing but country ass shit. And I was like, I can relate to that shit. So I just kind of went with that. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to try to be like, I'm making music about selling drugs or anything, because I'm not out there doing that.
Were you the only white guy that was rapping in the early 2000s in your area?
No, man. Breadwin, a Turquoise. Okay. He was rapping. Like I knew of Breadwin, like he was one of the local rappers around our area. There's this one local rapper named Ashtray. I remember Ashtray, and I remember he would go to like a real studio and shit, and we were just like these like the teenagers that were freestyling, and everyone was like, "Oh, a studio!" Like there weren't many white people around at that time. I think Breadwin, that kid, Ashtray that I spoke about. Around our area. I'm sure once we started migrating to Tampa, doing open mics and shit, we came across white rappers all the time, but it wasn't as much. It's not as in abundance as there is now. I could open my door for quarters and hit 16 fucking white rappers in my front yard.
How awkward was it making music that you were making, and then what you're hearing that was representing Florida was, bass and ass and titties? Was it kind of awkward for you?
It was, and I hated it. I hated all of it. I was like that backpacker, fist in the air, like this ain't hip hop. This ain't hip hop. Which looking back at it now, like I appreciate all that for what it is, because there's like I hated Gucci Mane, right? I never liked any Gucci Mane. I listen to it now, and I'm like, Gucci Mane was. Who with all the hip hop that's out now, you can't help but go like Gucci Mane was fucking Talib Kweli. You know what I mean? Lyrical as fuck. But it wasn't bad, man. It helped me, man, to be honest with you. It made me stand out.
Right. Well, you already stood out because of what you look like, but your content gave you a different thing, because 2000s and hip hop, that's definitely the booty shake era, and definitely the emergence of Atlanta. And we were just now coming out of gangster rap. so it was a different environment, but you stuck through it. Like here we are in 2022, and you're a stronger man for it.
100%.
I've always wanted to know, like, because I was a rapper too, but I stopped a long time ago, high school. But to go through those phases, like, what do you do? Do you have to adapt? Do you just stick with doing what you're doing, or
I had my moments, because like what you said, booty shaking music. In Tampa, we had a thing called juke music. Okay. And there was a bunch of pioneers that built that foundation of juke music. And even back then, I hated it. DJ Strizzo, he's DJ'd for Second Chance. I believe he's working with Mako now. Okay. He was a fucking mainstay. This dude, you couldn't go into a bar or club anywhere. He was the king of juke around here. Him, Low Key, several other people out here. And there was moments where I did have that mentality where I was like, okay, here's my rap record, here's my heartfelt song, here's my club song. Right. You know what I mean? Everyone had that little
pocket.
I can't even think of formula where you had to have the album stacked with the singles for the DJs.
Yes, true.
And I definitely went through that phase for about a good 6 years where I'd make club records here and there. You know what I mean? They were awful.
How does it feel? Because you've been doing it a while. How does it feel being an artist who actually came from the era of pressing up CDs, passing out flyers, snippets, open mics? Like, how does it feel coming from that era, now being in the era of basically virtual, releasing stuff online, streaming, and that? Like, because you've definitely experienced both.
It's definitely different. Like, when I hear artists now complain, like when they're on Facebook and they're like, yo, fuck all y'all local artists. None of y'all support my music. I ain't supporting y'all because y'all didn't share my shit. I'm like, fuck y'all. Like, we pressed up. I remember you always got the little clear packages, CD inserts. You got the burnt CDs, and then you got 5,000 flyers. It costs the same amount as you bought inserts, and it costs the same amount as you bought 1,000. So every time we ran through 1,000, we printed up burned another 1,000 CDs, handed them out. Like, y'all motherfuckers don't know what it was like when we were out there putting flyers on windshields, like all fucking week long, paying to go to music conferences. You know what I mean? I did, without exaggerating, I probably did about 1,200 shows before I got $1 for a show. And I look at it now and I see these people like they've done 1 or 2 shows. Like, what do you think I should charge? And they'll ask me this stuff, and I'm looking at them like, you shouldn't be charging shit. You need to go out there and fucking put in your work, and then get to a point to where you deserve to be paid.
I mean, I tell artists all the time, if I'm promoting an event and I can't put your name on a flyer and make 1 penny, how can I pay you? It's like,
exactly.
But sometimes I guess artists don't get it, but I understand. I've never been an artist, but most artists have never been a promoter, and they've never been what you've been through. You know, back in the day, we called it paying your dues. I don't even hear anybody talking about dues anymore.
No, not at all. I've literally gambled my family's rent money, electric money, just to break even and get back home, and have to find a side job to pay the bills. Hundreds and hundreds of times. Like, the concept of paying your dues, but those people that get it like that, you could see it throughout the test of time. People that find success overnight won't make it sustain. People that find success over a long period of time will make it last a long period of time, because they know how to appreciate it once they got it, and they know what to do with it once they do have it.
All right,
so you think the next crop of rappers going to be a little weaker because they don't have the dues to pay or don't have rites of passages to go through?
I absolutely do. When it comes from all aspects of it, if a record fails, they're not going to know how to deal with that mentally. If they go out and do a show and only 3 people show up versus 300, they're not going to know how to deal with that mentally. They're not going to understand when they drop the same song for 3 years straight, that when they don't switch up their style and kind of adapt with the times, and change their flow patterns, change their melodies, people aren't going to listen anymore. They're not going to know how to take that mentally because they just won right out the gate.
You're right. You're right. Damn, that's pretty deep because there's a lot of in country rap, especially this new crop. There are no dues to pay. Like there is no methodology of them having to pay dues, and there definitely isn't any rite of passage. They just throw the music out, and if it sticks, they move.
It could 100% go. A lot of people don't realize it, but then again, though, I could say this though. This is there could be an artist, right? Right. Okay, I'll use him as an example. To me, I never knew who Trap House Kudo was before that single came out. I don't know. I don't know what he did before that. He probably fucking grinded for years. I'm just judging based off that's the first song I heard. He blew up off the first song. No, go look at his back catalog. He's got projects out, videos out prior to that. Right. So like anyone could judge something right off the gate because they just now discovered it. Motherfucker probably heard Chevrolet by me and thought, oh, this guy's brand new. No, motherfucker, I've recorded over 30 albums in the past 15 years. You know what I mean? Like they don't realize the back work that came with it.
You've done over 30 albums in 15 years?
I stopped counting albums back in 2013. And when I say albums, it was mixtapes also at 26. Right. At 26 albums, I stopped counting them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. I've got more songs on my current computer right now. And I could say this. I'll put my house on it. I've got more songs on my current computer now, unreleased, that I will never finish more than some of these people's catalogs. I just record a lot is what it is.
Where do you find that passion to record so much? And do you ever recycle rhymes? Or have you ever recycled?
I'm sure I have. I especially in the past like 7-8 years, I'm sure I've done it along the lines. I find myself doing it in the same song sometimes, not realizing it because I don't write. I do everything in my head and record it.
He lying.
What's that?
He lying. There's no way your rhyme pattern is all freestyle.
You think I'm bullshitting you?
Oh, bullshit.
I'll be honest with you. I'm flattered. I know your background and I know you've been around this shit for a while. And the fact that you think that because you're holding it up there.
Right. This is I don't believe it. I don't believe it, bro. You're too skilled. Like there's no way the way that you rap, it is coming straight off the dome. I don't believe it. I don't have to see it in person.
You're cool, Bravo. Talk to Bravo.
Okay.
I've recorded songs. I've literally there's a song on me and West Nile, the producer that's working with Mako right now. We got a song called Crown. The song is, and I have timestamps to prove this too. The song I think is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I recorded, when I say recorded it, wrote and recorded the vocals because originally Crown was just for West to sing. I wrote it for him to sing. Gave it to him. He didn't want to finish it. And we kept my rough draft vocal in there. So it was a collab. I recorded it, wrote and recorded it in 10 minutes. The full song.
In your head.
In my head. I don't do it in one take. I'm not going to lie. I'm not doing it like in one take. I think of a couple bars.
Ain't nobody doing it in one take though.
But that's some, I mean, Lil Wayne's probably the only person and Lil Wayne and Jay-Z are probably the only people that I've seen do that level of talent.
All right, so
now you'd be surprised. I've recorded a lot of local rappers over the years, especially in the past like 5-6 years, where that's just a new thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and because it's on my aspect of it too, it's laziness. They don't want to write. They don't want to take the time and go. This bar could be instead of like when you set out your bar, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. They go okay. This rhyme would make more sense if I moved it to number 2. If I moved number 1 down to the 4th, and I moved 3 to 1. They don't think that whenever they're punching in. But I've learned a method to it. What I do is I don't plug in my headphones now. I record it, so I have to force myself to re-record it once I listen to it once or twice, and I could fix those mistakes and not be committed to it no more. I know in my head I can't put this out because there's drums and shit playing in the background. I didn't wear headphones. So now I have the opportunity to go in there and swap out bars in the order of things.
Have you ever released any of that behind the scenes footage of how you record?
I don't think we've ever really recorded it. We've been live.
I would probably do, and I'm just saying this just for the next generation. Like that would be a good teaching tool for them.
No,
bro. This dude's talent is crazy. There's
you know what? You Jay-Z, Biggie, Lil Wayne,
Biggie's true, yes.
T.I. and
I've never seen T.I.
Oh yeah, I trust him, but yeah, T.I.
Okay.
Everybody else that I've seen, time wasters. That's what I call it. Goddamn time wasting. And here wasting time saying some words. So the fact that Hard Target, in my opinion, has a classic album.
Thank you.
And you telling me that you don't write? You just moved to my Mount Rushmore. You just moved to my Mount Rushmore because that's insane. But the reason I would not want you to make a video doing it, because every other lazy, time-wasting son of a bitch is going to watch your video and be like, yeah, this how. No, but it would be a good teaching tool because they just punch him, and they need to learn how he does it, though.
You guys are holding it at like a higher pedestal. I'm going to break it down to you real simple. When a person's writing, and Spank, you've done music before. When a person's writing, they play the beat, they hear the shit, write a couple lines down, play it back, rehearse it, write down the next line that came to their mind, play it back, rehearse it, write down the next line. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm cutting out the middleman of the paper. It's the exact same thing. The only difference between that and the way a person writes and cutting out the paper is I'm very fast with it. Like I could think of rhymes very quick.
Okay.
It's not like a difficult thing for me. So it's not as prestigious as a lot of people think it is.
No, I think it's
literally just cutting out a part of the process. It's literally lazy.
I think you're cutting out. I think you're shortchanging yourself now because it's not that easy.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate again, though. I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. The good part about what it is, when you just said earlier, there's no way you do it with the patterns you're using. That's one of the main reasons I do it. When I hear a beat, right? When I hear a beat like Seth Anthony, hey man, I want you to jump on this song for my album. I go, cool. Did you listen to it? I go, no, I haven't listened to it. He'll hit me up an hour later. Did you listen to it? No, not yet. And there's a reason B is because I'm not going to listen to it until I have a phone in front of my face and I can press play and record something on my phone. Because as soon as I hear the beat, the first thing I do is start mumbling shit. Okay. I don't sit there and freestyle nothing and come up with these incredible lines. I start coming up with patterns and pockets. So when I do that, I take these pockets. I go, okay, boom, I got what I listened to it once or twice. Got the pocket I like. I drop the beat or the instrumental into the session. I take that audio recording I did. I drop it into the session, and I sit there and look at it. Now I'll play a couple bars and go, okay, what do I want to say here? It's like the line is, and I'm running down, I'm bumping down the bound and go, and I'll listen to it a couple times. Like, and I'm running down the road. I got an hour to go. You know what I mean? I'll think of it, and I'll just piece it together. But where I say is I'm going to play devil's advocate on it is a lot of people do that laziness where they're punching in. They don't give a fuck what they say. I'm genuinely trying to think of the most creative stuff to say in those things without just mumbling some bullshit. But it is a laziness thing.
You create with that. Hold on now. I'm deep into the process. Do you create with that harmony or that tone? You try to find that first before you try to find the lyrics?
100%. I never worry about lyrics until I got what I used to do it only for the hooks, right? Mm-hmm. I used to only do it for a hook. I'd find where the hook is, and then I'd do the raps or whatever. Now I've gotten to the point where I go, I don't want to be Joe Button, right? I don't want to be that. I'm 36 years old. I don't want to be this dude that's stuck in a day and age where I'm writing these boom bat 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 basic 4 count bars. So what I do is I go in there and I do the exact thing. Once that hooks idea is there, I go in there and I lay down a pattern of what that verse pocket's going to be. And then I go back and then I worry about the lyrics. The lyrics don't mean shit to me until I got a good pocket, because if I could catch the people with my cadence in my pocket, I know I can make good lyrics. That's easy.
Where did you learn that from? Because that is a singer's or / songwriter technique.
That's it. That's all it is. I literally, I remember what it was is I would listen to beats and I go, fuck, I forgot what I was doing. What was it again? Look around, and I just got to the point to go, I'm not doing this no more. From now on, when there's a beat playing, I'm recording something. You
taught yourself a technique that a lot of Grammy Award-winning songwriters do. Yeah, because they'll go ahead.
I had no idea what a harmony was. I didn't know I was doing harmonies 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
What is it? What is Jack Daniels? How does Jack Daniels go? Fuck. How does the chorus in Jack Daniels go? I'm trying to think of the harmony. Either way, like, you know, like people, you got a harmony, like,
right.
When I walk away,
right.
Like, just because you go, and I walk away,
right.
That's just a higher octave.
Right.
I know this now, but back then, I thought I was just doing these cool layers. Then you have the harmony, which when I walk away, like,
right.
Say that's the harmony. I didn't know I was doing harmonies until a buddy of West Nile. He said, "Oh man, I love that harmony." I'm like, "What do you mean by harmony?" And he explains what it is. You're
right.
in the same key. You're just singing along with it, timing wise, but in different notes.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? And
right.
I didn't realize I was doing it. It just sounded good to me. You know what I mean? So it's the same concept with what you just said. It was an accident, just trying to fix what I was fucking up on.
I respect the talent even more so now because most of it was on accident. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why it's incredible. That do you know most people can't say that alphabet without doing the goddamn rhythm?
Yeah.
A, B, C. Oh yeah.
Right. so for you to act like, oh, what I do, this is some normal shit. No, man, people can't even say the alphabet without singing it. So hell
right.
no. Like that's some iconic shit right there.
It wasn't like an overnight thing though. This was years. Like if you go back and listen to like those first things I put out and stuff. Like I know the Back to the Trailer. That's like my third album, like actual album, and that was like 2004 or 5. You go back then, you could hear harmonies and shit in there, but they weren't good. You know what I mean? It was just me like troubleshooting, coming up with shit, thinking that I think it sounds good, and
right.
trying to come in and be comfortable with me even singing at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was all of it inevitably is just accident. You know what I mean? Over and over doing it. I did it a lot though.
So out of all these projects that you've released,
don't get that license plate in this shot.
Yeah,
right.
no, yeah.
I don't care.
So look, I gotta ask you a question. So how far back in Hard Target's career can we go before I start digging? Because I got questions, but I ain't gonna ask them if I can't answer.
What it was, I do know this. I know, like, I had a series called "You Get Stomped On" Volume 1. You're not gonna find those. You'll find a few of the songs off it. Chief, you know the guy Chief that wrote y'all?
Mm-hmm.
He was the first original dude I used to tour with. He used to rap, and there's a couple. I did 3 "You Get Stomped On" volumes with him. I know, like, "Shut Up and Rap" Volume 2, 3, and 4 might be on that Piff. All those rare B-sides, I did 4 of those or 5 of those mixtapes. You're not going to find any of those, but you can find some of the songs like on SoundClick. Motherfuckers don't know about SoundClick. Fuck SoundCloud. SoundClick was the shit.
Yeah, it was.
But I accidentally came across that Back to the Trailer, which is the oldest one that I have access to, like on hand. That's on SoundClick. I just found out. And I found that like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I was looking up like a hat. I was like, I couldn't bring myself to wear a cowboy hat. I was like, my dumb ass wore it on the cover of Back to the Trailer. So I went to go look it up, and I saw it was still online.
So look, I gotta ask this, and then you can say next question if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't even gotta say their name, but I'm a research guy. I consider myself a journalist.
Yeah.
And years back, you released a couple disc records where you had to put foot to ass.
Yeah.
Stage Dive and
Stage Dive, Cryptic Wisdom.
Oh, well, you want to call it name?
Oh no. I did a show with him like I think about 8 months ago.
And you also had So What, which was Cryptic Wisdom and Joker. What brought upon those? And the funny thing about it, let me tell you why I'm really mentioning. because maybe a month or so ago, we reviewed one of your records. And I guess someone from that era jumped in the chat during the premiere and actually brought the situations up. And I was like, man, this dude tripping. Hard target bodied these guys. What is he talking about? Just to put it in a nutshell, what brought upon those situations? And are you the type of MC that will defend yourself on the mic?
Those situations were me purely just being a dickhead. I remember the day, and people are going to think if people are able to go back in time and look at the dates, the timestamps on Stage Dive, and they go look back at Cryptic Wisdom and Joker may have deleted theirs. I'm not sure, but if you look at the timestamps or whatever, so to speak, what it was is the Joker and Cryptic Wisdom did like some song or were going to do a song, and the Joker started publicly talking shit to him. And I was never cool with the Joker. We didn't have beef or nothing, but I didn't talk to him like that. I was cool with Cryptic Wisdom. And I remember they were going back and forth talking shit. And I remember I said something like, I was like, oh, you just going to let this man bully you like that? Like publicly? I was just egging it on, being a dickhead. And Joker was like clowning him. And kind of at the time, I was like, yo, this dude's not going to say nothing back. Like, yo, you say my shit. You got 30 minutes and the track's online. I'm stopping what I'm doing. The track's online. Was my mentality back then. And it was like 3-4 days later, he dropped a diss track on Joker and then said my shit. Now, this is what I say. If you go find that original Joker diss and look at the timestamp, then go look at the timestamp on mine. 30 minutes after he released that, I released that Stage Dive diss. And then it was like 2.5 weeks later. Oh no, that's what it was. I not Stage Dive. I didn't drop. I dropped the one where I was dissing them both, right? Because there's 3 of them. There's one where I diss the Joker and Cryptic Wisdom at the same time, and Joker just got it just because he was in the conversation. And then a week later, he dropped the diss solely on me and brought up my daughter's name. And this is where I actually just got angry over it. 30 minutes later, I had one directed towards him only. And then it was like a month later, Joker dropped a diss track and threw me in on it. I dropped a solo one of dissing him only. But a lot of that back then was just me being a dick. You know what I mean? When the shit was happening, we all had acquaintances. It was around that era where the Funk Volume was doing Don't Funk Up the Beat. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that.
I've heard that.
They had these contests and they were doing it every year. And Joker, Cryptic Wisdom, Whitney Payton, Nova Rockefeller, Tom McDonald, Overtime, Mercules. All of us were doing these contests back then. And I remember we were all kind of growing at a similar pace between the 3 of us or whatever. And I was just like, let one of these motherfuckers say my name. I promise you on everything I love, I'm going to bite a bitch's head off. And at that point, I was like, again, I've got 3 kids. I'm 36. At that point, I already had a show booked flying to Joker's shit. Where is he from? Like Albuquerque, New Mexico or something?
Yeah.
And Cryptic Wisdom was the headliner on that shit. And once he said my daughter's name, I was like, I'm going to slap the shit out you when I get there too. So the whole fucking show got he backed out of it. And I ended up going out there headlining it. We talked like a month or 2 later. He apologized. Everything's water under the bridge. Joker, I just never had a relationship with. So there's no talking about nothing, which I was never really mad at him anyways.
So
I wasn't mad at either one of them until someone said something about my kid.
So as an MC, you're definitely, because, I'm going to be honest, when people get at each other, as long as it stays on wax, I think it's steel sharpen steel.
Yeah.
I'm a steel sharpen steel type of guy. So you're definitely the type of MC that if approached, you will defend yourself on the microphone.
Yeah. But ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing it.
Ain't nobody do that.
They're not doing it.
There'll be a real situation.
I'll be real with you. There's 2 rappers. There's a lot of country rap. When I first got into it, it was very 1-2 buckle my shoe. There's a lot of dope ass rappers in country rap now, like lyrical dope ass rappers.
Yes.
There's 2 rappers I would be worried to go head to head with. there's two rappers in this genre, I'd be worried to go bar for bar. I definitely would have to pull out my big guns for these dudes. There's not many people, but again, though, I know how I am, though, too. I wouldn't back down from any of it. We used to have to battle off the top of our head.
Right. All right, so look, I'm going to ask this question for Spank. This is something that I'm
going to ask about that shirt he got on.
No, I'm going to say that for you. This is the other question.
I love Mako.
Racket County.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, first of all, how did that collective form?
Right.
And will there be more?
Oh, shit, man. When we put out that last one, we recorded, I think, 8 extra songs that are just sitting there on a hard drive somewhere. I'm definitely down. Like, I owe everything to Clay and Brian. So anytime they say, hey, we're going to do this, all they got to do is pick up that phone. They know how it works.
So what was the purpose of Racket County, though? Like, was it a troll job? Like, what was it? Because I'm mad. Because I got Racket County at the beginning of the year, and I'm expecting about to be this big, fabulous Racket County tour. We ain't get none of that. So what's the purpose?
To be real, I didn't think there was going to be a tour. On the first Racket County, it was definitely a different energy. It was like, to me, like, even this Racket County we dropped at the beginning that you're talking about right now, I don't hate it by any means. I think there's some dope ass records on there. I don't think it was the Racket County we originally did. That original Racket County had like a grit to it, but back then it was a plan. Like, we did a Racket County tour, the whole 9. Mm-hmm. If I'm being honest, I think this was just all right. My album just dropped. The Lax were working on an album. Yes. If all 4 of us together, we're gonna we recorded, I think we dropped 6 songs. I think we recorded like 16 songs in a 4-day weekend when we went up there. And that was like production from the ground up with Wes. You know what I mean? Right. So it was one of those things where I think it was like, yo, this is a good segue until everyone releases their next shit. I don't think there was going to be a tour or nothing coming to that.
So was Racket County you guys' version of Slaughterhouse?
You could say that. Clay always used to say country rap Wu-Tang. Okay. The same concept.
How y'all come together?
That was all simple, man. I was Wes Now, the producer that's working at Mako now. I've known him. I've been working with him since 2006, 2007. Well, I've known him since then. I didn't work with him until like around when my daughter was born. But he was doing a band with Simple Man and this other artist named Phil Curvin, and they were called Psychobilly Cadillac. If y'all ever get a chance, I know y'all are Simple Man fans, go look up Psychobilly Cadillac. They have like I think they got a whole album online. Incredible songs. And this is when I was introduced to country rap. Mm-hmm. I always worked with Wes, and he's like, yo, these dudes I'm working with now, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like hearing Simple Man. Simple Man's like fucking spazzing. I'm like, yo, bring that motherfucker around. And we did songs and shit like that. And I know they were having like an issue where the other guy was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I was like right there at that moment where I was like, I don't want to do music anymore. It's just burning time, and I'm just barely getting by. Mm-hmm. And I started doing the songs with Simple Man, and Wes Now was producing them. And we took the name Hard Target and because I already had a good following online, and became a group Hard Target. Just used my name. We started doing shows, and I remember he's like, yeah, we're going to go to this mud park. I'm like, a what? He's like, a mud park. Like, they go 4-wheeling and shit. I'm like, why? Like, oh, they're doing this show. This band, the Lax, are there. Da, da. I remember parking out in front of the gate, and we're sitting there. And he's like, yeah, they're supposed to come up here and get us in. If not, we got to pay $40 to get in. I was like, I ain't going in. I'm not paying $40 to go get dirty. And I remember Maria, Clay's wife, pulled up to front 4-wheeler. Da, da, went back there. We meet Clay and Brian, and immediately we're like, oh, this guy's a douchebag just like us. And we like, Simple Man went to high school with these dudes, and already knew him. But immediately from that day forward, what it was, I think Maria and Nicole, which are the Lax significant others, they had saw us live and were like obsessed with the shit we were doing at the time, and put Clay and Brian onto it. And they were immediately like, yo, we want to take y'all on tour, do this, that, and the third. Started working with Lax, and pretty much you see it play out all online.
Oh.
But that, and then Racket County came about like that, basically. Once we started doing multiple songs, it's like, let's do a group album.
Okay. All right. So we're moving through the life of Hard Target. So I'm gonna leave the next question. Well, I'm gonna lead off.
Okay, on the
Last
studio.
year, and right here on the Country Rap Report, we made an announcement.
Yep.
Hard Target is probably a member of Mako Music. How did that union come about?
Well, I've known Bravo for I think about 10 years, about 2011-ish, 2012. I heard of him before that, but I talked to him at that point online. We had a relationship. There was always a mutual respect. He was one of those dudes that was like right there. I always before like the Savannah stuff took off, me and Bravo like had that like the same type of shit. We were dope rappers, made great songs, but we could never catch a break. You know what I mean? Right. So there was always a mutual respect. And I know when I did the one album deal with Dirt Rock, inevitably, which I did like 3 or 4 with him. At that point, I was like, everything's kind of stagnant right now. And I remember he hit me up. And this was like, I think you might have still been working with him, Spank, at the time, because he hit me up. And I remember him saying, yo, man, we're about to do this deal. I'd love to bring you on board. And I still wasn't like, I don't know if I want to leave Dirt Rock. I kind of just shrugged it off. And then he hit me up again at the beginning of 2021. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I'm like, yo, I need something to work. And I see what they're doing over here. This shit's crazy. Anything they touch is gold. You know what I mean? And again, we had already this common respect for each other. So it ended up coming about like that. He's like, hey, man, I feel like we could do this, this, and this. It's like, fuck it, let's run it.
So does you being with Mako or still with Mako, is that a conflict of interest for you to have trailer-made music, or are you going to be able to still be with Mako and do trailer-made stuff?
I'm to be honest with you, I'm just trailer-made now. I did an album deal with Mako, and okay. me and Bravo a few months back. It was, we never made a thing about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's no longer on Mako or anything like that. Anything they put out, I'm sharing it. And I fucking, when they go live and release their videos, I'm in that shit. Right. I got nothing but love for Bravo, Savannah, FJ, and all the new people that I did meet before I did leave Mako. Okay. Trailer Made, it basically was one of those things where towards the end of it, like when I first started working with Mako, I let them know, I'm like, yo, I don't want to do like a long contract type of deal, because I could, if it don't work out and this shit don't move the way I think it will, I could do bad on my own. You know what I mean? Right. And he was completely cool with that. And the difference is like when the Mako dynamic, they got a studio out there. They're all in the room brainstorming. They're a video guy, someone doing the graphics, the recording, the production, the mixing, the mastering. Yes. Me and Bredwin just did it all, everything. Right. And Bravo did everything he could in his power to help. But even I've explained to him, once that YouTube algorithm took a hit last year, everything just fucking got hit. It was right after the Savannah song. The brakes just got hit on everything. Mm-hmm. And it was just a common thing. He's like, man, I can't continue to go. We're going to take percentage of this when it's not winning. You know what I mean? You're doing it all yourself. He's like, right. Anything you need from me, just hit me up. He's like, but I want you to push forward with Trailer Made, and whatever I could do to help, hit me up. It was a common departure, so to speak. That's
fair. I mean, he's always been fair with his paperwork anyway, because he doesn't do any recoup and all that other stuff. So that was fair.
Yeah.
All right, but you did leave them a classic. That project you put out over there.
Thank you,
bro. I gotta say, like, I rode that thing for a long time. How'd you actually come up with like that title for that project first? Because it felt like to me that I didn't know if it was, like Good Night. Nobody.
I've got
like, what
an
did that
awful
mean
explanation for it. We were riding. We were on a trip, me and Gotti, and I heard it on a podcast. It was a quote from a novel, bro. I had to look it up again. I can't even tell you what the quote was interpreted as, but when it was, I was like, yep, that's why I'm naming the album Good Night Nobody. Like, basically I'm saying this, and there's no point of even saying it. No one's even fucking listening. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we've argued about the classic term of the album, and we even argued if Target's album was good as or better than Church's. So it's still an argument that we both have. But
Vic thinks it's classic. You don't?
I think it is. No. Vic said that Church's album was classic too, and I was like, I don't know about that, fam, because I heard Target
country rap. Those are my only two classic albums. Now maybe I haven't heard any. Maybe I've missed something. But I'm just saying, if we took 2021, if we took 2020 to 2022, I only heard two albums or I can listen to every single day. Yeah. People Champ and Good Night Nobody. And that's not me dissing anyone.
I appreciate it, man. I haven't listened to People Champ. I listened to the songs he released, and I had no complaints about any of them. I liked, especially the People Champ one. But I will say this: 2021, Beyonce had the best album of all time. No, but the best album of 2021 was Hub Walls. That there's no getting around.
He was in my conversation. He was in mine. I said the same thing.
I haven't listened to it. I apologize. I haven't listened to it.
But
Go ahead.
I put Hub Walls, I put Hard Target, and I put Savannah Savages in the same bracket as the People Champ. I didn't call any of them classics now, but I did say they were all damn good records and good projects. So I definitely gave you that. But I don't know about. Okay, definitely. I'm trying to think about the track listing now. Yours about your classicness. Oh, because when we're doing classics, it's got to be a run from the first to the last and no fall offs. Like there can be peaks and valleys, but if it falls too far down to go back up, it's gonna be real hard.
Bro, I wouldn't be mad whatsoever if you. To me, that album. And this is just being honest with it. If I listen to them track by track, I love and appreciate each track. But together as an album, I myself, if you were to ask me my top 3 albums, it's not even a question if that's not even near.
Really?
My top 3. Absolutely not. Deja Vu. Don't get me wrong. The Deja Vu record, I put that in my top 3 songs I've ever written. Like I love that song. It was incredible to me. But the album itself. Joyridin, the album I did 2020, the last Dirt Rock album. If you listen to that front to back, the album title, and just listen to it, it is what it is. It's an album you ride to. It's a fucking just riding ass album, and to me, that's into my top 3. Chain Smoking, that's in my top 3. You know what I mean? That album right there was kind of like, oh, I need to put this out. I owe them an album, and I seen everyone else putting stuff out, so it's kind of like a nervous, anxious decision on my part going, hey, Bravo, I'm going to just put this out. And he's like, all right, Bubba, if that's what you want. You could tell he was like, you don't want to sit down and talk about stuff? You know what I mean?
Bro, but
I was very hard-headed.
All those songs had a meaning. And Deja Vu definitely is in my all-time country rap classics. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I rolled that album and rolled that album and rolled that album. I worked night shifts. And that shit got me home without falling asleep for 2 months.
Well, thank you. 2 months. I really appreciate it.
And man, I don't know. It something about it touched my inner grown man.
I'm so glad I could touch your inner grown man, Vic.
no homo, but
we got to bring a little gay in it now, John. Don't do that. Let's keep it separated.
All right.
So look, also, man.
Now I respect the album more. Now I know that it's talent, and he did not write it. I might need to go reevaluate that classic terminology now because there's some good shit on that album. Damn good shit.
I appreciate it.
Target, then what's a classic album that you've listened to?
5 Mics.
Rap wise.
Rap wise.
Country rap or hip hop, whatever. What if we locked Hard Target on an island?
What happened? The Rehab Graffiti. Oh, that's kind of not rap.
Rehab. I'll let you go Rehab. I fuck with Rehab.
The original Graffiti the World to me was an incredible album. It was incredibly good.
We doing any genre? That's what we're doing.
From the Rooted to the Tuda.
Okay.
Fucking A, bro. Field Mobs, Rooted to the Tuda. was fucking good, bro. That's the one with Dead and Chevy, right? Am I crazy? Bro, that was fucking, you got that, mix it up, hit it up, add it up, put it in a pie. That shit was fire.
Mine would be, okay. I'll give him one because he can have one of mine. He probably.
How can you give him one of yours? That's
mine,
yours.
Because it should be one of his. Mine would be The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Say it again.
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna. Bredwin just said it. She don't want white people to buy her album. She said, "What she said? She said, I'd rather my kids starve than a white person buy my album." I'm gonna go buy that motherfucker.
Don't bring race into this. Okay, no. Bredwin, no.
Hold on.
Lauryn Hill was amazing. I don't give a fuck about what. If that's what she believes, I don't give a fuck. I still love her music.
Right.
Hold on. Can I pause this conversation?
Anything we do with TrailerMade, we don't look at CEO or anything. TrailerMade is me and Bredwin. If Durty turns around and blows up with the song, and his song blows up the channel, and TrailerMade's like a household name, yeah, me and Bredwin are the owners of TrailerMade. I'll be a damn fool if I'm not going to turn around and give him the same percentage we're getting off of it because he just turned our thing into an empire. Right. You know what I mean? I don't like to sit back and see always the people at the head of the table eat. You know what I mean? Right. Everyone, if this person helped build this, they should get the same size plate you got. If they did the same amount of effort into it, you know what I mean?